is 7:33. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please join us in a moment of silence as we reflect on those in the United States Armed Forces, both past and present, the elected leaders of the state of Pennsylvania, and the elected leaders of our nation. We will be thankful for our community. There was an express on Tuesday, March 6, 2012, at 5:30 p.m. to discuss the superintendent search. Monday, March 12, 2012, at 6:00 p.m. to discuss personnel matters. Monday, March 19, 2012, at 5:30 p.m. to discuss the superintendent search. Tuesday, March 22, 2012, at 5:30 p.m. to discuss the superintendent search. Monday, March 26, 2012, at 6:30 p.m. to discuss legal matters and real estate matters. And there will also be a executive session following this meeting to discuss the superintendent search.
You're a nurse. Closer to it.
Is that any better? Is that any better? Mike wasn't in the stop. Item 4, acting superintendent's report. Dr. Soto.
Thank you, Mr. Kleinfeld. Good evening, everyone. And we have a number of student recognition this evening. And before we get started, we'll be getting started with Mr. Scott and then our principal. And we're going to do things just a little bit differently for our student recognition. Students, when you hear your name, we're going to ask that you come to the front and line up in front so that our families can see you. And then at the conclusion of your team, we're going to ask that you return to your seats and recognize all of the students who are here tonight. And then at the end of our student recognitions, we're going to ask each of our groups to go out in the hallway and have their pictures taken. So, Mr. Scott, let's start us off.
Thank you, Dr. Sutter. This winter has been a very successful season for us, both athletically and in our extracurricular fields, both at the high school and at the middle school and at the elementary levels. To start the recognition this evening, it is a great pleasure to introduce to you Coach Steve Dracula of our record-setting wrestling team to introduce members of this team. Coach Dracula.
Okay, right next to me I have my assistant coach Mike Brilla. Next to him is Tyler Rogers. Next to him is Derek Galata. Derek was the first freshman in school history to earn a state medal this year. Next to him is Dominic Petrocelli. Next to him is Aston White. Next to him is one of our captains, Mike Lenge. Next to him is Bradley Trego. Next to him is one of our other captains, Gordon Molig. And next to him is Andrew Kinney. He is one of our other captains.
One other tidbit of information, Andrew Kinney was the outstanding wrestler for the section tournament. Very special selections, and to announce them and introduce them to you, I'd like to introduce to you our head girls soccer coach, Coach Joseph Marquisette. Hello. This year we had two girls who are recognized by ESPN as all-state players in Pennsylvania. The first one is Rachel Carpenter, 4-year starter in Ojrsd, and 2-year captain. On next year playing at Kutztown University. The other one is Emily Morgan, who is also recognized as a 2013 Top 100 recruit in the country. She'll be playing 2 years. We have her for 1 more year, which is good for us. There are 2 others. For those of you that don't know, our DECA program, Distributed Education Club of America, has had outstanding performances for many, many years. Needless to say, this year, once again, we have a very successful group of individuals who will be traveling to Salt Lake City to speak a little bit more about that information. I'd like to introduce you to their advisor, Mr. Brian Burnett.
I'd say it's certainly another successful year at state as well as national level. The students that are going to announce tonight have qualified to go to nationals in Salt Lake City. First place winners, Colin Gray and Alec Johnson, the hospitality service team. First place winners, Zach Matarazzo and Michaela Shaw, entrepreneurs training. First place winners, Amanda Dawkins and Paige Preston in advertising campaign. First place winner, Susan here tonight, Cassidy Hart. She placed first in restaurant and food service management. Second place winners, Dan Blumker and Willis Johnson. They're not here either, but they also placed in role play events. Second place winners, Stephen Alice and Elizabeth Suey in international business plan. Third place winners, Brooke Miller, Mariel Tucker, and Ricky Bardo in Community Service Project. And we also had 2 students place 4th and also role play events, Colin Slaughter and Kristen Wood. And also Jarvis Stack placed in the top 20 out of 1,400 teams in the Stockholm Challenge. So he'll be representing northeastern part of the United States in the Stockholm Challenge.
At this time, I'd like to introduce to you Sheila McIntyre for our special award presentation.
I'd like to apologize to the school board for the last time I spoke. I was in the middle of the musical. I had just come out of the hospital. I have a week-long hospital stay, and I was really not myself, very uneloquent, and I hate that about myself, as any one of my students can say. No lights, no stammering, because that is not the essence of performance. I would like to commend Mr. Zachary Monterado, who you just saw here, who made it to the All-State Choir. About this young man. To make it to the All-State Choir, students are fitted from District 12, which is the part that we are from, against District 11. District 12 is all of Chester County, Delaware County, and part of Philadelphia County, and District 11 is all of Bucks and Montgomery County. And there is a considerable rivalry between the teachers of District 11 and District 12, because District 12 teachers know that District 12 is the best. But District 11 always tries to show that their kids are better, but they're not. But whatever. Their kids of Region Choir is the best 10 of District 12 versus the best 10 of District 11. And to make it the all-state choir, students have to place in the top 6. Zach made it to the top 6 and placed second, and was 2 points behind another District 12 student. So District 12 is better, and Zach was second place, and he's a member of DECA, who we saw, OM, extremely musical, extremely talented as a musician, a student, a scholar, just a most amazing young man. So, no pressure, but as a junior, you can play in the All-Eastern State Choir. Next year, providing his all-state results at the auditions coming for the conference that he's approved to go to, and myself, he has a lot of music to do. I have French pronunciations, by the way, this young man. They sing in all languages, all rhythms, all creeds, and he's amazing. Let's wish him well, and hope that he represents the rock and roll.
At this time, I'm going to turn the program over to our elementary principals.
Good evening, school board members. Good morning, good evening, community. My name is Todd Oswald, principal of East Coventry Elementary, and the next 3 groups which will be introduced are groups that were selected and represent just a small portion of the elementary music population. And in all of our schools, we have tremendous music programs, and some of these students were selected through auditions to perform at various festivals all across southeastern Pennsylvania in the last month or so. So I'd first like to introduce the 3 music teachers who led our Band Fest students, and they are Mr. Andrew Click, Ms. Angela Latanzio, and Mr. Neil Frontheiser. Neil could not be with us this evening, but Angela and Andrew will be introducing the students from Band Fest.
Band Fest is a District 12 band club in all the elementary schools in the area. All 3 band directors got together and selected our top students to perform. They got their music in November, and they pretty much had practiced it all by themselves, and we welcomed them in. But then in February, they had 1 full day of rehearsals, and they had a performance in the evening, and it went really well. They did a fantastic job this year. We would like to recognize those teachers and participators next. Go ahead.
So from East Coventry, we have Sarah Bailey, and we also from East Coventry, we have Sarah Bailey. From East Vincent, we have Max Gallagher. I'm not sure if he's here tonight. From French Creek, we have Lee Magnus.
Ms. Judy Anshati, Ms. Julie Heaney, Ms. Jennifer Rowley, Ms. Tanya Vogel, and Ms. Alina Silva. We'd like to recognize students that participated in our Pennsylvania Music Educators Association District 12 Elementary Chorus class. So we'll start with students from East Country. From East Vincent, we had Helen Van Natter, Julian Bowler, Haley Carrax. From French Creek, we had Katerina Bobo, Taylor Dupet, and Valerie Song. From North Country, we had Alexander Lawrence, Samantha Nelson, and Carly Sapp. And finally, from West Vincent, we had Marshall Burgess, Catherine Sergott, and Cameron Buckingham. And all of these students will be participating in the festival this Friday, so we wish them all luck.
At this time, I am honored to introduce to you our three teachers that serve our students in string. And we have Martin Prescott, Sybil Vernon, and Cliff Hall. And tonight, Mr. Prescott cannot be with us, but Sheila McIntyre is going to do the honors of introducing students from those schools.
Greetings. For those that do not know, this Martin Prescott is my husband. He's doing rehearsal right now down in the orchestra wing of high school. So representing from French Creek on Isabella Bobo and Lee Maggie. Before I say, Mr. Prescott refrains from high comment and praise from anyone unless it's truly deserved because of nature and his culture, and he does praise both of you very well and very highly. I esteem that. And from West Vincent is Brianna Kirchner. He loves all of you and he thinks you do very well. And again, it's no praise unless it is truly deserved. So thank you very much.
First, I would like to thank all the parents and the board for supporting our music program. We have one of the best spring programs in District 12. The dedication of the parents, of our school board, and of our principal, which is outstanding, and the growth is amazing. String Fest is a festival where we as teachers do have to select students. We are limited to the number of students, and with all of our schools having such talented individuals, it's very hard choice for each of us to make. The students we chose were met, they practiced on their own, and met for one day at Drexel on February 28th, where they did rehearse and practice all day, and this evening at that time they get into the presentation and a concert for the parents. Representing East Coventry, we have Avery Jansen and James Howard.
I work at Ojrsd in North Coventry.
again, without your support and your continued support for our wonderful programs that we do have here, we have probably about 250 string students in the elementary schools alone. I am at East Coventry where we have 130 string students. So continue with us. We all rock. So go on. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much, everyone. I would ask at this time that all of our recognized individuals this evening, that they would please rise, stand up and be recognized, please rise, and be ready. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big walk around the floor.
Regular size meetings. Well,
Absolutely. Thank you, Dr. Soder. We have with us Mr. Joe Levitsky, Director of Administrative Services for the Chester County Intermediate Unit, and he will be presenting the budget for the schools for the Chester County Intermediate Unit.
Thank you, Jackie. For those who don't know me, I'm the Director of Administration with the Intermediate Unit. I've been with the unit for about 11 years now. Prior to that, I was about 10 years a business manager with the County Consolidated School District. So I'm very familiar with O&A Roberts and the challenges that the school districts are facing in today's economic climate. Intermediate Unit has 4 major budgets. I'm going to highlight just several areas of each one. But the bottom line for our proposed budget next year is no increase in the core budget contributions, no increase in the occupational education tuition rate, no increase in the prices for the Chester County School District's for marketplace programs, and our category budgets are actually don't involve any school district funding. So the word no, you're going to hear a lot. That's kind of an unfortunate mantra of everyone's budgets these days, and you'll see that as we go through. Next slide, please. In terms of what that means to your school district, you can see the amount of your contribution in the core will remain at about $42,000 next year. You have a slight decrease in occupational education budgets, and your estimated marketplace services will increase about $70,000 based on current trends in services and enrollment in programs. I mentioned the 4 budget areas. We do ask that each of our member school districts take action on the core budget by the end of April, and the occupational education budget also requires board action by the end of June, and as well as marketplace service budgets. Next slide, please. There's been several strategies that are discussed in the budget document. Probably the most important one is the willingness of our professional groups to, in recognition of the economic times and the impact of our services on the school district budgets, is to take a salary freeze next year. 3 of our 4 major employee groups have taken agreed to salary freezes. This particular slide shows that the combined savings from salaries, the salary-driven benefits, and several early retirement incentive programs will amount to about $2.6 million in savings for cost avoidance next year in our budget. So that's one of the things that's really going a long way in helping us maintain our salaries at the current, our program prices at the current levels. Next slide, please. The other thing that we've been fortunate, we have structured our benefit programs in the last 10 years into a self-funded model that's really paid off. And I've showed this particular slide in previous years, and it's really good news for us. What it shows is the blue bar is what's called the fully insured rate by Independence Blue Cross, and you can see the huge increases in annual premiums proposed by Blue Cross. The red bar is our self-funded product and what we've been actually able to budget on an annual basis, much more conservatively. And then the green bar is the good news. We've actually been fiscally performed below budget for the last several years, actually extended back even before that. So next year, we are not budgeting any increase in our health care for medical or prescription, vision, or dental. We feel we've structured our plans accordingly. We have structured a medical stabilization fund and our stop loss insurance to put us in that position. So it's a little bit of a roll of the dice, but this is the year we have to do it. Just even though we're not increasing, we're cutting costs everywhere we can, we have been pretty successful in finding other money that doesn't involve school districts funds, grants, categorical, one-time funding streams. The list of them here. This is important. We continue to be able to work with our districts and other partners to deliver services, curriculum, specialized programs on an ongoing basis. Another very successful initiative, and it has been for decades, is the Chester County Joint Purchasing Board. On this page, you can see the list of bid categories and the participants. Over $2.6 million in savings by working together. This is probably one of the most successful collaborative purchasing consortiums in the state of Pennsylvania. Next slide, please. The core budget next year is actually, the proposed budget will be going down by $540,000 to $16 million. Next slide, please. The significant changes, you can see our salaries are actually going down overall, and we also have saved through some reorganizations, retiring some folks that have retired, savings in some benefits and debt service. Bottom of the page, you actually see in this particular budget the specific savings from the salary freezes for our personnel. And this is a list of the contributions from each of our member school districts. You can see in the middle of the page, Ojrsd will stay at $42,461. Next slide, please. Occupational education budget. A lot of cool things happening next year in occupational education. We're opening up a new center in Downingtown. We have some new programs. We're also phasing out some programs. Next year's budget for this particular area is $23.3 million, an increase. Our enrollment continues to be strong. We hit our all-time high about 2 years ago with over 1,000 FTEs. Right now we're about 962 FTEs. And again, the significant changes. The salaries are essentially flat. We've reduced several positions. We are phasing in the last round of debt service for our new building, and we're also incorporating a building improvement fund specifically for the Center of Arts and Technology Pickering campus, which is going to need some roofs in a couple of years. Again, using the same format, we have more personnel in this particular budget, and you can see the savings from the salary freezes at the bottom of the page. This gives you an idea of some of the transitions that our programs go through on an annual or basis. Programs kind of go through cycles, or they're rebranded. We have new programs in response to industry needs, in response to parents, and in response to students' interests. We also have some curtailment programs as things change. You can see them on the right side of the page. I'm not going to get a lot of detail. This is an overview of the entire county and the contribution, the budget contributions, the outgate budgets. Ojrsd is one of our larger school districts in terms of sending children to our school. If you go to the next slide, I've actually extracted the data and show you how it works. The formula for your contribution is based on a 3-year average enrollment multiplied by the annual tuition rate on an FTE basis. So at the top of the page, you can see the current year. You had an average enrollment of a little over 116 FTEs for a total budget contribution of $2,284,000. Next year, we roll the enrollment figure ahead 1 year using the same formula. You're at about 115, almost 116 FTEs. Slight decrease, tuition remains the same, and you're actually at a slight decrease in your on-head budget next year. Next, please. Last area of the budget is the marketplace services. This is our largest and most complex area of the budget. 83 different programs, almost $123 million. The important thing is the prices that you pay for each of these services will not increase next year. You pay for what you purchase. Next slide, please. Over 422 services. We are increasing some of our prices for out-of-county clients. We're introducing several new services. This is where most of our people are located, so you can see the tremendous savings, almost $2 million from the contract salary increases that we're able to achieve with our labor groups. This last page is a summary of our projection of all the purchases for the school district. You can see the core budget, non-GAAP budget up at the top. And then the marketplace services, they're really hard to gauge. This is something we work closely with Mrs. Crumrine and your student services folks, and it's based on enrollment, it's based on trends in enrollment, and just local information. So we have a lot of different specialized services. Next year, about $5.4 million, a slight increase from this year based on current service levels. Next slide, please. So in summary, no increase in our core non-GAAP budgets in terms of tuition rates and contributions. No increase in our marketplace service prices. I guess the best thing to wrap it up is like we're in this together with you. We're partnering with you. We understand. We recognize the challenges you're facing. We're facing many of the same challenges. So with that, let me answer any questions from the board. Thank you, Dr. Ryan. Sends his regards. He actually had to attend a meeting at Downtown tonight. He said you might be tired of hearing him talk anyway. I said that's impossible. No one's ever tired of hearing him talk.
Before I turn things over to Colin Gray, I just wanted to extend congratulations to Colin and to the members of the Castle Crew Guide because our school board and the school administration and I have continuously receiving accolades. I received 2 emails today reminding me how my show was, and I said to both of those parents, I know I was there, you all love it. So congratulations to you and Detroit.
Thank you, Dr. Soder. Ojrsd recently received notice that we have been selected to receive the Natalie Stable Spirit Award from a Make-A-Wish Foundation of Philadelphia and Susquehanna Valley. This award recognizes the DECA chapter's loyal support and spirit of giving to provide inspiration and optimism to the children served in the region. The Gay Straight Alliance executive officers did an anti-lesbian, gay, bisexual, transsexual, language, and bullying presentation with the superintendent's cabinet this month. The high school band will be traveling to Orlando, Florida during spring break this year and will be performing in Disney World. Our band was selected for the Electric Light Parade in Magic Kingdom on Thursday, April 5th, and will kick off the parade that night in front of approximately 30,000 spectators. Lastly, this month, elementary students from both North Coventry and East Vincent visited the high school to be interviewed for Wildcat Radio. The East Vincent students' interview about Go for the Greens was broadcast on March 13th. North Coventry students were interviewed this past Friday about their positive school-wide behavior program, Wally's Way. Their interview will air 4 times on WBZH 1370, The Buzz. And the other elementary schools will also be sending students to the high school to be interviewed by high school junior Nick Jancic before the end of the school year. To listen to any of the broadcasts, visit the Wildcat Television webpage. And that's all I have to report this evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Soder. I have to say, I was playing on Friday night, and very impressed how well done and how professional we play from all those students. So, everybody's congratulations. Item 5, government information proposals and statements for individual or delegations between two items on the agenda. Speakers are to indicate their name, last book residence, and the item on the agenda in which your comments are addressed. Speakers will be limited to not more than 3 minutes. Item 6, board committee reports. Committee of the whole, item 6.1. There's committee of the whole meeting scheduled on Monday, March 12, 2012 at 6:30 in the administration building. Buildings and grounds was discussed with curriculum instruction, extracurricular areas, plastic, finance, and technology. Item 6.2, buildings and grounds. Mr. Hughes.
The Buildings and Grounds Committee did meet on March 5th in the Administration Boardroom. We listened to proposals from 3 architects, and we will, hopefully you got my memo from the board line this week, but we will then meet again in April to decide for the final selection of the architect. And that was the whole meeting.
Mr. Hughes. Item 6.3, Chester County Intermediate, Mrs. Vargas.
The Chester County Intermediate Unit Board of Directors held its monthly meeting on March 21st, 2012 at the CCIU Education Service Center in Downingtown. The following items were discussed and acted upon. We had a presentation about the classroom diagnostic tool, CDT, and I'm happy to say that as a board member watching, I was very proud that we at O&J are already using this tool to assess and collect data in grades 7 through 12. So it was interesting to see the reaction from other board members from around the district that don't even have any information about this tool, and not to mention that this is a free tool that's provided by the state. So we're using it, we're collecting data with it, and we're making best practice decisions regarding education through it. So it's a great tool that we're using. There's a save the date. Annual school board legislative breakfast is on May 18th at 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. at the Chester County Education Service Center. If you would like more information about that, just let me know and I can provide you that. We had the information regarding the budget that was already presented to you today, and our next board meeting will be held on Wednesday, April 18th at 8 p.m. at the Child and Career Development Center in Coatesville. It's a unique opportunity to go explore the schools that are serving our districts as well as even surrounding counties. And that concludes my report. Thanks.
Mrs. Vargas. Item 6.4, curriculum instruction. Mrs. Vargas.
We have 3 things on the agenda. The first one is a recommendation for the Kinder Camp program proposal, and also a recommendation to move forward with the Jump Start program, along with the scheduling discussion. Actually, I'm on the wrong page. Okay, so I don't have any comment this time because I'm on the Cal agenda. So there goes me. Thank you.
Item 6.5. Preparatory and Mr. Stone.
No report, Mr. President.
Item 6.6, Finance Committee, Mr. Cruz.
No report at this time, Mr. President.
Mr. Cruz. Item 6.7, Legislative Policy, Mr. O'Connell.
There will be a meeting of the Legislative Policy Committee on April 2nd. We're going to move that start time up to 4:30 p.m.
Mr. O'Connell. Item 6.8, Personnel Committee, Mr. Cruz.
No report at this time, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Cruz. Item 6.9, Civil Services, Special Education, Mrs. Egan. Thank you, Mrs. Egan. Item 6.10, Technology Committee, Mr. Peters.
No report.
Mr. Peters. Item 6.11, Transportation Committee, Mr. Stone.
No report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We're moving on to item 7, recommended routine matters, item 7.1, motion to approve the consent items 7.2 through 7.11.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Freeze, second by Mrs. Hedner. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item 8, approval of routine matters. Item 8.1, motion to approve consent items 8.2 through 8.5.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Freeze, second by Mr. McCall. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item 9, board communications.
There are no communications, Mr. President.
Item 10, board discussion. Just give a brief update on the superintendent search. We held our second round of interviews on March 19th and March 20th. We held along 2 nights, given the candidates. We're getting close to narrowing down our candidates. There's another meeting tonight of the board to work through some healthy discussion, I guess, with regards to the candidates. And we're still on target for making an announcement, hopefully by the end of April. Item 11, all business. There's none. Item 12, new business. Item 12.1, motion to approve consent items 12.2 through 12.7.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. McCall, second by Mr. Stone. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item 13, new business. Item 13.1, approval of the 2012-2013 school year calendar.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. McCall, second by Mr. Hughes. Any discussion?
The only discussion that I have is that with our IU board meeting last week, there were 4 school districts not present, so we hadn't had the discussion regarding the start of school year. So I just wanted to update the board on that and let you know that it's going to be discussed in April when we meet again. So I'll do a little more feedback then.
That has nothing to do with
This
next
calendar.
year.
Correct. It's just to give you an update since we're on the topic of the calendar.
Mrs. Lawrence.
Sorry, did you have a question about that?
No, I just want to make sure that this is on track.
Yeah, the calendar that we submitted for approval, the only difference between that one and two is the length of spring break. This is the shorter of the spring.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item 13.2, acknowledge and receive an LLE outdoor experience new grant program.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. McCall, second by Mrs. Agner. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Excuse me. Item 13.3, approval of the conference attendees.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. McCall, second by Mr. Stone.
Second.
Motion by Mr. McCall, second by Mr. Hughes. Any discussion?
The only discussion is just to remind you that we'll be taking data points on this experience this year, and there might be the possibility of extending it from a 4-day schedule to a 5-day schedule, adding an extra day, which would increase the time with the students.
For next year.
So unless the program remains the same, just adding a day.
Correct, because typically it goes for 4 days because we're on the 4-day work cycle. But when this is taking place, we're back to the 5-day, so we have the opportunity to extend for an extra day the same amount of time during the day.
What are the data points?
We're going to take the benchmark at the end of the school year and take it at the beginning of the school year when we take that data assessment for all students. But we're going to flag the students that were recommended for this program, flag and make a note of the students that took advantage of this program and what subject areas they were in, so that we can look at a comparison of them maintaining their levels of reading and math over the summer. So that's what was lacking when we talked about it prior, and we're hoping to get a better gauge on it this year.
Ms. Marcus, clarification, 5 days for this year or for next year?
5 days for this year.
Ms. Caroline, how does that affect when we shut down the buildings in the summer?
It is actually going to be during the time period after the staff comes back,
thank you.
so we'll be fine.
Thank you for clarification.
Order 13-4, approval of 2012 academic jumpstart programs. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item 13-5, approval of the 2012 junior camp program proposal.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Mr. McCall, second by Mrs. Vargas. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item 13-6, ratification of the homebound student or students.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Vargas, second by Mr. Stone. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item 13-7, approval of student trips.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Stone, second by Mr. McCall. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 13-8, approval of expulsion recommendation.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. McCall, second by Mr. Stone. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 13-9, approval of confidential settlement and release agreement.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. McCall, second by Mrs. Agnew. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 13-10, approval of independent contractors agreement.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Agnew, second by Mr. McCall. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Well, I can't read it. 14-11, approval of Parker County Learning LLC agreement for Study Island.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Agnew, second by Mr. McCall. Any discussion?
I'm just hoping that maybe we can have a presentation for the board regarding City Island so that they can understand exactly what an excellent tool it is, and then possibly start thinking about the tool in our elementary schools as well, because it does a lot of the data collection that the CDT does. However, that is not offered in grades K to 5. and it also allows students to interact with technology and learning, and it's all standards-based. And it lets teachers create assignments via the program. So we piloted it in the middle school, and I'm happy to say we're going to make an agreement with them for the middle school, and hopefully, we can look for it in the future in our elementary schools.
So this is a data collection tool?
It's all in, it's a lot. Do you want to,
Don't want presentation.
Okay.
Can you just give us like 3 sentences about?
This is an integrated learning system, a computerized integrated learning system that provides benchmark assessment. It also provides online lessons that can be programmed for the individual student. We are most interested in that benchmark assessment and having it be in place of our current assessment system in the middle level. So we're actually removing what we're currently using, replacing it with Study Island. This is the program. This would be part of progress monitoring. Our initial use of this would be to replace our Ojrsd system, which is for teachers to use. So this is considerably faster as far as getting data back to get the information, get the data back right back to students.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item 1312.
So
Order of bids for Ojrsd with Chester County Intermediate Joint Purchase Agreements.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Freeze, second by Mr. McCall. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item 14, public comments. Information, proposed statements, and/or questions from individuals or delegations pertaining to any item. Speakers are to indicate their name, council for residence. Speakers are limited to no more than 3 minutes. Item 16, motion to adjourn. Oh, sorry. Item 15, order request for information.
I have a request. I'd like to know the temperature is.
I've already sent an email about that.
Item 16, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. McCall, second by Mr. Stone. We adjourn at 8:27.
These guys will show.